Situationships are a form of self-harm. Trigger warning. If you think you're going to get your feelings hurt, don't watch this video, okay? Because this is a reality check. This is not a coddling, I'm going to help you make excuses for your poor life decisions. Hello, angels, baddies, and bitches. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amber Akilla. This is my YouTube channel, an extension of my online ecosystem that is Amber Akilla. Maybe you've seen me on Instagram or on TikTok, or you've listened to my podcast, Friend Crush with Amber Akilla. Cute, chaotic, and critical thinking. I hope everyone's doing well. Trigger warning. If you think you're going to get your feelings hurt, don't listen to this video. So I have a ponytail and I have a black turtleneck on today because I'm going to give you a Steve Jobs presentation on why situationships are bad for society and they are essentially a form of self-harm. Situationships are a form of self-harm, and I want to define a situationship as different to a booty call, different to a casual relationship. A booty call is you only meet for one thing. A casual relationship is you are mutually on the same page on the level of commitment and investment that's going into this relationship, okay? You see eye to eye on the issue of commitment and the nature of the relationship. You know, a casual fling, etc., different to situationship. To me, a situationship is an ongoing relationship where one person wants commitment and the other person doesn't, but they continue to see each other, be intimate with each other, do relationship adjacent activities, but they don't call it a relationship, they call it a situationship. Firstly, a situationship is a type of relationship. It's just not a great one. And I think you need to reconcile with that. I think the issue also is this brainwashing that women have experienced, where somehow commitment to a man or a man committing to you is considered a prize. Maybe I'm not the right person to speak about this, or maybe I'm the perfect person to speak about this, because at no point in my life have I ever pedestaled commitment from a man as a prize over anything else in my life. To me, the prize is my peace, my prosperity, my happiness, my contentment. And if I'm with a man and that facilitates those things, great. If I'm with a man and he places those things in jeopardy, GTFO immediately. I was not born to be ugly or have a bad time. If I'm in the presence of a man, I feel ugly or I'm having a bad time, just get away from me right now. Like, don't even come close to me. We don't even need to breathe the same air. Don't come into the room. I can understand how you can get into the beginning stages of a situationship where you're dating someone and then, they don't want commitment and you want commitment, and then you have to separate. But for me to continuously double down and to normalize this behavior where you continue to make yourself available for relationship type treatment, you give the girlfriend treatment to someone that is not your boyfriend, is a form of self-harm. You are lowering your standards. You are settling. This will bring down every other area of your life, because a romantic relationship is one of the most intimate forms of relationships there are. And I feel that the issue with modern society is this hyper commercialization of romance that also creates this devaluing of it in a way, especially for women. Who else in your life is seeing you naked the way that your situationship is? That's not something that should be taken lightly. Access to your time, your energy, your body, and the risk that you put yourself under when you enter that kind of experience. It is not something that someone can just flippantly have access to, in my opinion. Like you and your body and your time and your energy deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve to be with someone that believes that you deserve that. If you lower your standards in that area of your life, where are your standards anywhere else? It will lower your vibration. You will not see your own value in your work, in your friendships. I've heard so many stories of girls that get into situationships and it comes at the price of their friends. You've alienated your friends because they don't want to see you self-harm, basically. You might also be treating your friends as therapists and going to them for advice, venting to them because your emotional needs aren't being met in your relationship, your shitty relationship. And then you're bringing the vibe down at drinks, at dinner, at brunch, because you're complaining about a guy who has explicitly told you that he doesn't want to be in a serious relationship with you. You take that as a challenge to like see if you can get them to be serious is crazy to me. It's almost like you apply for a job, you find out you're not qualified, and then you keep going to that place and working for free to try to demonstrate that you are qualified. You don't actually know what the qualifications are, okay? Like your idea of what you think this person needs in order for them to deem you as like relationship material, that exists very deep in their mind. Like they might not even know what that is. Because a man that's entertaining you in a situationship context, like knowingly taking advantage of you and your time and your energy and your body, that is not the type of man you want to be in a relationship with, period. Like a man that is like decent is not going to continue to exploit a woman who he knows wants more from him that he can't give. That's a shitty man. Get away from him. You are ruining your life. And the issue with this is like, you think that you just have to change him, or that there's something that's wrong with him maybe that you can fix by I don't know what. To me, if a man wants you and he wants to be serious, he will make that known. And the fact that he's not making it known is not your problem. Okay, you're just not compatible, and that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be a reflection of your self-worth. It doesn't need to be a reflection of your desirability. If anything, it's a reflection that you need to take yourself more seriously. If you're wondering why other people don't take you seriously, it's because you don't take you seriously, okay? Because if you were really serious about being in a relationship, you would say no to the situationship. That's the thing. That's the craziest part of all to me, because a situationship is not you're both happy to be in a situationship. It's like one of you is like suffering on a daily basis, crying and throwing up because you're not getting your needs met, but you still keep going back. And I understand that it's not your fault you're in a position where you might be prone to this kind of behavior, but it is your responsibility to get out of it when you realize that it's not adding anything to your life, and suddenly crying and throwing up every day, you can't concentrate when you're at work or when you're studying, and understanding that it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to get yourself out of this situation. Why would someone who can have their cake and eat it too say no to having their cake and eating it too? You know, that's such a rare occurrence. You've hit the jackpot when you're a man. You don't want anything serious, but this girl is treating you like a boyfriend, giving you boyfriend treatment. He doesn't have to do shit. You know, why would he change? His needs and his standard is actually low. That's why you've met him in hell and he hasn't risen to the occasion of being your boyfriend. That is already an indicator that you are not compatible. But at the same time, you entertaining it over and over again, you're putting yourself in a position where now suddenly you're a match made in heaven. He's not taking you seriously. He's not taking his romantic relationship seriously. And apparently neither are you. And you need to understand that self-respect and being respected does not come from outside of you. It comes from within first. If someone disrespects you and you clock that, you having self-respect is not you trying to convince them to respect you. You trying to convince them to commit to you. It's you being like, oh, okay, we don't want the same things. What I want is something else. Let me exit this situation and go and find that, instead of staying here and like playing some weird mental gymnastics form of self-harm. Like, do you understand that you are being anti-feminist when you are in a situationship? Because why do you care about the rights of women but you don't care about your own rights? Why do you care about women being respected but you don't care about you being respected? You are a woman too, and you are bringing down the vibe whenever you settle in a way that goes against your best interests. You need to understand that your best interests are as important as every other woman's best interest. And whenever you put your own best interest as second to a man's best interest, you are reinforcing the patriarchy. Did you know that? That's how you need to think about it, because this individualist feminist discourse and this idea that you can make your own shitty decisions as a woman and that doesn't affect other women generally is crazy. Because when a guy is on the benefiting end of a situationship, the people around him see that too. And that also affirms to them, oh yeah, there are still women that are going to settle. There are still women that are going to make themselves available for girlfriend experience without the committed stamp, without being claimed. Women everywhere suffer because of your poor decision making. So make a better choice for yourself and the world around you. Get out of the situationship. If you want to be in a serious relationship, start by taking yourself seriously. Start by being in a serious relationship with yourself. What are the things that you actually want to do? What are the things that you want to pursue that you're waiting for someone else to approve of for you to take steps towards? I think that's kind of like the crux, like the psychological seed that is being watered with like toxic fertilizer, is that there is some part of you that you are afraid to own, and you are waiting for someone else to validate that for you until you can move forward. But that's not how it works, you know. You need to take those little steps. You need to confront that part of you that you feel shame around, that you feel cringe around. Do that thing. It could be so random. Like I always talk about having a non-negotiable hobby, learning something new, committing to a practice, and experiencing the benefits of making a commitment to yourself, the progress that you make, and the way that your identity changes, the way that your skill set changes, the way that your relationship to yourself, relationship to others changes. Like, find something to commit to that's actually going to benefit you, because at the end of the day, you could fuck up your whole life for a relationship, but you can't put that on your resume. You could learn a new skill and not even have it benefit you directly, but you could still say that you learned something even if you didn't pursue it to the full extent. But nobody cares if you're like, yeah, I was in a situationship for 5 years. Unless you start making YouTube content or you start making a podcast and talking about your experience and telling other people to stay out of a situationship, that will be for nothing. So get out of the situationship now. No more situationships. I don't understand why they exist. I have never been in a situation where I've thought to myself, what can I do to convince this man to commit to me? Like, the fact that you don't want to commit to me is reason enough for me to not be interested. Like, I don't understand why you would ever pedestal commitment from a man. Have you ever heard of a situationship turning into a successful relationship? I've never. Even if someone's like, yeah, we were a situationship, and then, you know, I convinced him, and 10 years later, he proposed to me with a pea-sized, less than pea-sized, less smaller than a Tic Tac ring, and I'm paying his bills. Like, it ends badly. So end it now. Get out while you can. Being told early on that someone is not serious is a blessing. It's not an open challenge. I'm letting you know that if we go any further, I'm just going to waste your time. That's a blessing. Find some other challenge, because men are not challenging. You know, he's just shown you straight up, I'm not interested in commitment. I actually only care about getting my physical needs met and any extra bonus that you're willing to give me, and I'm not going to do anything for it. Like, what is attractive about that? What is attractive about that situation? It's like, yeah, you're not qualified for this job, but if you want to keep coming here and working for free, we're not going to say no. Like, that's basically the attitude. I can't. I actually radically accept your situation for what it is. Recognize that there's also like a chemical thing that's going on when you're physically intimate with someone on a regular basis, and you're forming a physiological attachment to them. So you need to stop doing that, create some boundaries, get a hobby, do something else with your time, pursue the thing that you really want to pursue, because I bet you there is something that you actually care about that you want to do, and you think association or proximity to this man is going to help you with that. And I'm telling you right now, all it's doing is hindering. All he's doing is setting you back. Like, when I think about people that I know that have been in situationships, or like the toxic end of a relationship that is basically a situationship, the girl always has something that she wants to do, you know, whether it's career-wise or like personally, and the man represents a version of her or a version of someone that's done it, and she thinks that she's going to get clout or experience by association, but it's like all you're getting is pain. He's not teaching you anything. He's not sharing any resources with you. He's just wasting your time and energy, and you have less time and energy to actually do the thing that you care about. And if you just did the brave thing and you broke up with him and you set a hard boundary and you redirected your energy into something that you cared about, the world would be a better place. There would be one less girl in a situationship. There would be one less man who thinks he can get away with his bullshit forever. And we would enter a new equilibrium, you know? Think about if you would be okay with your best friend being treated this way by a man, or watching your best friend treat herself that way. And if the answer is no, why are you not your own best friend? Why do you think you need to take an L for the patriarchy? Like, that's crazy. Women have been burnt at the stake. Women to this day experience genital mutilation, experience horrors under patriarchy. For you to cry and throw up about a man who, I don't know, doesn't have a bed frame, hasn't ever paid for your dinner, not interested in aftercare, not interested in being there for you when you've had a tough day, anything. Like, the world is your oyster. What do you mean, you know? What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you want to say no, you're a Justin Bieber song. You're nodding your head yes to the situationship when deep inside you want to say no because you want to be in a loving relationship with someone. Be in a loving relationship with yourself and your community, and then you will be in a better position to recognize someone that can actually add to your life, someone that can love you and respect you when you are your full self. You are not your full self because this person is a blockage to that. This relationship is a blockage to that because you are not getting your needs met and you are not learning to meet your own needs. You are meeting someone else's needs at the expense of your own. What's more disempowering than that? You are a woman, you believe in women's rights, believe in your own rights, get out of the situationship. Love you!